I don't know why, but the cracker bottle. Woo! Oh, alright. We're going to start doing something a bit different. This is going to be experimental for 2 weeks. I want to make that very clear. Your feedback is the most crucial thing to this. What we're going to do is Grant graphics are fucking god tier, right? So we're not going to waste them. The Grant graphics thing where it's like a team recap in like 10 minutes, that's the last 10 minutes of this video, or however long. Aaron, put a timestamp in the fucking description for him. So if you just wanted to be like, alright, this is all I need to see a bird, how to say Team Bird in about 5 seconds. If not, what I'm actually going to do, which I think is a bit risque, is I'm going to show the whole team building process from start to finish. A lot of the teams I like to do, recently have taken about 30-40 minutes. Team against Aaron I built, it took about 3 hours. I think the team against Squid I took about 3 hours. Sometimes I just forget because I haven't been, a bit of diet has actually been the cause of that, but my memory's been pretty jank recently. So the question of today is going to be, what did you have any New Year's resolutions and what steps did you take towards them? So my main one this year is trying to focus more on nutrition, also what I'm eating, and also as well just like exercise and things like that, which, you know, I'm happy with my, you know, nutrition. I'm making some good steps, but unfortunately exercise is a bit low, so let me know. So for those of you who don't know, UBL pages, so this will be the internal doc. It will be a bit slow because I am trying to, like, actually hang on, let's see. Oh gosh, what a surprise. This is where we were the whole time. I don't know, can you see everything? Alright, so this is what our screen looks like. Now, this week we are playing Thumb Brother 2. He is the brother of Blazing Squid, you know, a brother from another mother or someone else like that. We have Clefable, Tapu Koko, Buzzwell, Ferrothorn, Nihiligo, Darmanitan, Crook, Drampa, Quillfish, Rufflet, Obama Snow. First thing I notice on his team is his only flying resist is a Selly. Mega Diancie sort of is one as well, however, since Mega Diancie doesn't have any real recovery options, and I do have Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is a really, really nice quote-unquote answer to Mega Diancie. Gerda is also pretty annoying, but I do think the combination of Rufflet and offensive Clef in particular, also Tapu Koko looks really nice in the matchup as well. It's set up electric terrain. It can revenge a lot of my opponent's Pokemon, and I will lie. This one I did see the I have been a little bit quicker. I've had a cheeky look before at this matchup because I was building last night with my good friend Pedonison. So we're gonna start off with a few mons. So we're gonna start off with Rufflet. We are gonna go with the Hustle. I'm gonna Aerial Ace, Bulk Up. I just know from the get-go, right? Like, I just know off the top of my head, this is the set I want. I just need to check something. Phone ringing. Okay. And cut that out. Yeah, so I just know from the get-go, this is the set I want to run. This is my Rufflet. Now, the next mon I know which I want is Tapu Koko, because as I said, it's a really nice pivot from matchup. The U-turn set, so U-turn, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, and Roost. And I think the item of choice will be Shocker Berry, because I think that Scarf Chomp is going to come. Also, as well, by Ringing Rufflet, he can't ever lock his Scarf Chomp into EQ or Dragon Claw, because with those two combination, and then when you have Clefable as well, Clefable is really, really nice at this. So we are going to look at Magic Guard. I think I am going to go Life Orb this week. There is no real reason not to. Moonblast, Thunderbolt, Soft World, and I think HP Ground, Power Ground, just because it will cover the Garbodor, Alola, Marowak switches. So we're looking really nice here. We shut down Garchomp pretty quickly. However, what else? Like, I think Garchomp is probably one of his better mons this week. But when I had a brief chat with the matchup to Pedonison said I don't think Celesteela will come because you have Tapu Koko. And then you have things like Darmanitan. So I personally do think that Celesteela should come to nearly like 99% of the games, especially if it's your round pick. If it's not, then it's a waste of round pick. So gonna get Bulk Up, Buzzwell here. I'm gonna look at Leech Life, Drain Punch, Roost. And I think as well, for placeholder, I wouldn't mind Earthquake. And I know that Roselli Berry will be that item of choice because he's like, it's either that or it's going to be something like Rocky Helmet, and Rocky Helmet's mainly there for Gerda, because Gerda doesn't get knockoff. I actually didn't know that. I thought it did. Well, that is me. No, Gerda does get knockoff. They lied. I knew Gerda got knockoff. I'm so used to playing PU. Now, so the question will become, the main job of Buzzwell this week is actually just to check that lax really, really nicely. Leech Life, Drain Punch hits everything on his team hard, but Vikavolt and Garbodor and Mega Diancie. So that is something to also consider. I'm also considering Assault Vest. because I don't want to get swept by Vicavolt yet again. That has happened once before. Do not want it to happen again. Also, earlier I did mention Ferrothorn looks really, really nice here. I think Spike's Ferrothorn will be my choice of Ferrothorn this week. Let me quickly have a look at his team again. Yeah, Spike's Ferrothorn looks really nice. I don't have a Ghost, so Serena can try to spin every time on me, but with Crocodile... Crocodile will make it a bit harder for the Pokemon to function as well. I think Stealth Rock Earthquake this week is a really nice option on Crook. But now that I think of Agility Vicavolt, I'm just trying to think, how do I shut that down? I want Earthquake here. Earthquake for Suit. I think Knockoff has to be the last move on this. Does Bug resist Bug? That's an important question. I'll look that up. Alright, let's have a look at this Gen 7. So Bug does not resist Bug, and I think it resists Fighting though, which is important to note. I think I did want to go Spike's Leech Seed and Knockoff. So he has brought Vicavolt once before, and it looks like from the KDs from his first game he brought Trick Room. So we are going to bring Spike's Leech Seed Knockoff Power Whip on my Ferrothorn this week. Now the question is, what I want Leech Seed to protect? I think I want Leech Seed just purely for Celesteela. So it covers Selly, covers Chomp, covers Gutboda. Because let's say the hypothetical is he leads Gutboda, I lead Ferrothorn. He goes for a Spike turn when I click Leech Seed. If he clicks Toxic Spikes, I think that's a really bad sort of play against me. I'm also just bringing Toxic Spikes. And then again, if he does choose to do that, I still just get off my Leech Seed and go to Rufflet and start trying to bulk up really early game. Because I want to couch something. Rufflet, bulk up. you know you've come to a bird video like Rufflet's being talked about. Gutboda. 50 on 100. Yeah. So that's not even offensive. Got up off this thing. I think we're going to be like max this week with our Rufflet. Easy. Now, so you'll be seeing here that all I'm trying to calc with my Rufflet is how much does it take from a gunk. So it's always better to invest in defense rather than HP. Let's just keep going. 36. I think the next one's like 76. 80. What are we doing after that? 21. No. 92. Let's keep going. Oh no, 8. 120. I need a bit more than this 140. I like about 140, but it's sort of. I think I'm gonna go 156. That comes to 165. That's defensive Gutboda as a benchmark. What about Celesteela as a offensive benchmark? Sweet. So that's actually looking really nice. Because I do want a little bit of speed, I want to make sure I creep Celesteela. So Celesteela, if it is, what's the new, not relaxed, Rash will do, 81. So let's put maybe 36 in the speed, I like that sort of, actually, let's make sure we start calculating, like doing everything at level 50. 156, yep. Let's go 36 at level 50. It will give us more EVs, which I want to see. Now Vicavolt as well. Vicavolt is going to be really annoying for this team to deal with, just in general. Rufflet. Not very nice, is it? How does Hustle work? Sweet, Hustle works fine. Now, so that means if I get a +1 with my Rufflet, does that mean I need to get a +2? +3. Okay, so let's make at +3. Sweet. So +3, a Rufflet will OHKO with Vickerbolt. That's so good. I think 48 is the number. We'll go 44. Okay, so we now have 20 left. You're going to put the 20s for death. I don't think there's anything really else I want to do with that. I could make this Brave Bird, and I think that'd make it like, what, +1 needed then? What's its next move? What's its strongest flying move? That isn't Huffle alive. You go Crush Claw. And then go Sheer Force Crush Claw. That'd be so stupid. Yeah, it's either Aerial Ace or Brave Bird. I want to go Brave Bird. Aerial Ace. I think Vickerbolt takes half, but let's see how much Celesteal it will take. At +1. Okay, so that's also important to note. So, if I don't have the +1 boost, it does 30, so we need to make sure that with our Rufflet, we get to +1, and then we can set up a sub. So that makes it a little bit more annoying, but then again, we can play mind games if we turn one and go for... but then again, I think with any Rufflet, they're going to attack first. Everyone doesn't know what Rufflet does. He's so good. Isn't that right, Rogue? We like Rufflet. Big fans of Rufflet. So let's go +2/+2, because remember we did double clip bulk up, so that means it's going to be it's going to be guaranteed 2 +3 +3, so it'll be +4/+4. Look at Rufflet's Aerial Ace. He's trying his hardest, but he's trying his hardest. So say if you're could go +6, it's a guaranteed 3 hit KO, but his heavy slam does 7%. Oh, hang on, his flamethrower. We might need... +6 Rufflet Aerial Ace does 42% to Celesteal. That's just for death. And it's funny though, because it's a Rufflet. How much does it go to take at +6? Surely it kills it from like, oh. Ooh, I like that. What about +3? Ooh, God, Rufflet's a strong boy. Let's say it's +2/+2. +1/+1. I mean, not gonna lie, if he's bulk up Gerda, I'm quite happy to get into a bulk up war with it. Because I know my Rufflet will win. And then look, once you lose this little thing, 65%. What about Snorlax? Can it 1v1 Max? But only since it can't. So that's why maybe we should go Aerial Ace Superpower, but I don't know, I like having how much Superpower at +1 is a roll. Let's go to Celesteal again. At level 50. Yeah, let's go Superpower. Let's bring my friend Little Rufflet. Let's get rid of the substitute. I was just looking at calcs. And I think if I'm not going to be sub, I think I want to go Brave Bird. And I think we'll play the missing game. If we miss, we miss. Because otherwise, like, say +2 gets there, but we're going to have Superpower. Whereas if we went Brave Bird... you have our little Rufflet. I think we want Brave Bird, because then at I think we're going to redo our whole EV spread now, but yeah, +1, that Brave Bird is... it's going to do a lot. But would I rather have 2? I mean, 2 Aerial Aces don't do the same damage roll, do they? Oh, hang on, I forgot about the drops on Superpower. Then again, you look at that, Aerial Aces is a guaranteed 2-shot. Yeah, I like Superpower though. It's just for lax. Now let's rejig this EV spread, so Snorlax now. It's nice that it's always going to do a shit ton to a Rufflet. But then again, if we do get the... because it'll be a war, right? So, let's say it's neutral and neutral. Neutral Superpower is a 2-shot, yeah. But let's say we go for it twice. That's going to do a lot if we hit both. Actually, how much is Fightinium Zika? Oh, do I want to go Z. I would want to go Flyinium. See how much is this a Cell Stealer? At level 50. What, 100? Ah, Shading You brings a level 100. And so it needs to get about +2, doesn't he? Oh, does roughly get Swords Dance? He doesn't get Swords Dance. Poor little Rufflet. But yeah, we might be trying to changing this to like. How much does a Flyinium Z to do Uxie? Because I'd love just to get rid of his like whole Trick Room option on his team with one move. Let's get rid of this back to neutral. Yeah, like I don't actually see a reason not just to go like Flyinium Z. Because I've Brave Bird. Let's say this is 2 Adamant. That nearly drops a Nuxie. How? That's so stupid. This little thing. I love you so much. Yeah, so let's rejig this. Let's go Flyinium. Could you imagine just dropping Teambuilder with it? Teambuilder. How much does that take from Flyinium? Oh, 252 Adamant Hustle. I'll use Standard Lex. That's so dumb. I love this little thing. Garchomp. There's no way. Oh, that's +2 defense. Whoops. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way Ruffle will lose an Outrage. I like the 36 speed. I'm just trying to think. We're going to Brave Bird, because I want to drop something. Alright, let's take a 252 Adamant. I feel like a lot of his team's more physically offensive anyway. So I feel like, let's rejig the CVs for a 252. $52 Adamant. Let's say 220. Let's say we put 220 into the here. How much does Outrage do that? 25% chance to Oko. But we could drop with a Z Brave Bird in return. Let's say we went 100 here, 100 here. It looked like in my cow. Let's say we went 120, 120. No, it's worse. So what? Okay, so let's now look at it from this perspective. How much can I drop from each to get the KOs I want? So Z Brave Bird from Rufflet. Let's make this full screen so I can see this better. Z Brave Bird from Rufflet. Okay, let's say after rocks. Guaranteed Oak after rocks and a couple. Let's get rid of lefties. How much can I drop? 200. 220. So let's guaranteed Oko to that lax spread. Marowak. Alola. RU, because apparently it's RU now. That drops that. Let's go Uxie. Uxie we don't drop anyway, so there's no real point. Yeah, like, because Uxie's just so fat. Uxie's just like a Registeel. Uxie really is the new Registeel. Being completely honest. So then let's say Garchomp. Let's say level 50. I'd say we went 252. Oh, you live. We can lead Rufflet. We can lead Rufflet against him. 220. We can lead Rufflet against him. Just so we can go for Z Brave Bird. This little Rufflet. This one is for you, Papa. Papa Rogue. We Oko Garbodor, we Oko we Oko Vikavolt. Yeah, because we're gonna hit, so that's gonna be the fun part, but yeah, it would be the fun part. He could go no, I need the hustle boost, because it'd be funnier that way. But Onison said hustle boosted. Alright, let's see, how fast do I need Coco to be? I only need to creep Diancie, so I think I'm going to go Coco. I think Coco can be, what's it called this week? It can be modest, make it Diancie. Alright, 50, need to be fast, I need to be 179 at level 50. I'm going to really start building it more often at level 50 than at level 100. So yeah, that's going to, so now we have to change the whole team construct because we've got Rufflet on today. He's so good, he's a good little boy, Rufflet. He makes me very happy. You're Papa Rogue. Papa Rogue. Now we have a Tapu Koko. Alright, Tapu Koko at level 50. No, not level 100. Because I was originally, like, I'm looking at his team, and I'm like, I could go mixed Koko this week, and it actually, because I think Z move drops Diancie. But I don't know which one it is. Let's say we said Modest Koko. Modest is 177. So we went 224, 232. Yeah, okay, so I like that. We can creep the Diancie. I don't really want that much bulk on my Koko. I don't really like having bulk on my Koko. Alola Marowak is the only thing that wants to switch in on us. Marowak, Alola. Now where's the Marowak? Oh. The lightning rod one. Let's look at Dazzling Gleam damage. Surely Dazzling Gleam still does a bit. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam does 21%. But at the same time, we're always going to U-turn out on that. And we're going to go into Crook. I think Crocodile's going to have to be like max defense. Use Stealth Rock, Intimidate. Oh, I wish I could auto level to 50. So that's my phone telling me I have news. Not mail, I just have news. Alright, let's say we're 252, 252. Can we make this a livable thing? %20 chance to Oko. Hang on. Let's go leftovers. Guaranteed 3-hit KO after recovery. Now let's make sure that that's after rocks as well. Okay, so that's still like 20% chance. I'll gladly take that. I think we now know what our Crocodile's going to be this week. It's going to be max. I think as well, because people know that I hate having you know, like, because as well, here's the thing, once you, like, if you go Marowak, how much does Pursuit do to it? Pursuit does 35%. You can always click Pursuit. If he loses his, like, also as well, you gotta remember, that's Thick Club. If it's not Thick Club, let's say it's the lefty set. So you take that away, like, it's halves his damage as well. So, because we also have Ferrothorn this week that has knockoff, I do have dual knockoff users, which some people may think is bad. Now, because of that as well, so that comes a 5-hit KO after recovery. Let's see what it would have to be a 4-hit KO. Guaranteed 4-hit KO. So let's say we've made 120, 160, 164, 172. Alright, so 172 Impish is what we're looking at here. Now that won't be able to take 2 hits as nicely as I want it to. However, if he is max speed and we have no speed on our Crocodile, let's make it jolly. We creep that with no issue there. Now, the more important point of this is we now have 84 EVs left over, which I think I want to creep. I want to creep Serena trying to creep me, so I think I'm going to go with a classic Anthony Zazzo 36. There. How much does Serena do? Are you offensive? Yeah, that'll do a lot as well. However, we do have that knockoff, and knockoff, because we don't have any investment, is going to do 43%. So once it loses its item, let's give it a Houndoomite, because that's pretty much the same. Sorry, no item. It does 28%, so it's going to do 3-hit KO. Let's just up that a little bit. Let's make that 32. So that makes it a guaranteed 3-hit KO after rocks, and at the same time, once we knock off that thing's leftovers, we do make it a little bit nicer. So what number isn't right there? 36 is right, 172. Go 170. 172 is right, 32, 36. Okay, so now we've got Crocodile sorted, we've got Coco. Coco is going to be Randy, HLD, he always is. This is Papa Rogue, because he's a good little rogue. Aren't you, Rogue? You're a good little rogue. We haven't got Jay Ricky this week. Jay Ricky's in. He's playing Fortnite. He asked me if I wanted to play. I asked Jay Ricky if I could play Fortnite with him. He told me I was crap. So he's alright, but it just hurt my feelings a little bit, Jay Ricky. If you're watching this, I just want you to know you hurt my feelings this week. Very upsetting. Okay, so now what we establish here is we don't really like playing Mega Diancie because if it's HP Fire, Mega Diancie, I think from memory, Mega Diancie, offensive to Ferrothorn. I'm pretty sure HP Fire. That's yeah. However, we do have our Coco this week. Maybe I need Spadef Clef. Spadef Clef even takes a shit ton. But he can take it to HP Fire. And because we don't have any Scarfers this week, I might have to... Actually, no, I need Buzzwole. Do I need Clef, or is Clef just a stunt? Clef might just be too much of a stunt this week. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the honest assessment. Nothing on my team wants to take dual stabs from Mega Diancie. And if your first reaction is, oh, Bird, what about Nihilego? No, it does not want to take a Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm to 66. What can I do here? So I went Calm. But it was going to be offensive Clef. Or do we go Scarf Clef? It's always an option with Clef. You do have that base 95 attack. Also, as well, you have to remember that once we get rid of Alola Marowak, Tapu Koko revenges this thing pretty nicely. However, it could be Rock Polish. But then again, Rock Polish doesn't do a lot. So I think as well, we already know now that our Ferrothorn is going to be pretty much just defense to defense. Now, what's his slowest mon on his team? Because I want to underspeed that in Trick Room. It's base 40 Gurda. No, base 30 Snorlax. Now, what is Snorlax's min speed at? That's a good question. I don't know, who like what? But why are you calculating this stuff? Okay, so 31. Well, so we want to be 32. So we're gonna actually change. So yeah, so 12, 14. Yeah, so they're gonna be like, okay, why is that? Well, pretty much I just want to underspeed, min speed, like Snorlax. Also, as well this week, because we do have spikes. Now the Mega Diancie this week could be protect, but how we do have Power Whip for it. That's also important to note. Also, as well, once you start pairing things together, like we have Roselli, Berry, Buzzwole. So Buzzwole. So let's go back to this whole Mega Diancie. So what we're trying to figure out at the moment is the conundrum. We're weak to Mega Diancie, just naturally. Our draft is weak to Mega Diancie. Mega Diancie is an absolutely monster of a mon. How this guy got it at round 3, that's my fault. But that's because I decided to take round 1 Tapu Koko. Now, that's very good. Now, on top of that, we're trying to figure out how do we beat a Vikavolt with his agility? Because we don't really have any answers. So Mega Diancie's Moonblast, right? Now, let's say we went Calm. Let's say we went Spadef Clef. Took all this out, right? Just so you guys can see it. Diamond Storm becomes a 2-hit KO. So we need a bit of mixed bulk. And I think that that's going to have to be our Clefable this week. We're going to have to be Leftovers. We're going to have to be Magic Guard. Now, that does make it a little bit more annoying coming down the line because I wanted to have a very offensive Clef this week because Clef just tears a hole in his team. But now by putting this Clef this set, what I might want to do then is take Buzzwole and it being this thing and be Scarf, or look at Scarf Nihilego, because Scarf Nihilego will outspeed a Garchomp, but that does make me so much more weaker to Lax. I could go Unaware this week, but I don't want to go Unaware 2 weeks in a row. I don't want to become quote-unquote predictable. That's my friends in the PMC say. I don't want to be predictable with your draft. Yes, you're somehow 3-0. Padonison, the king. I could try to go Wish and try to be, more of a Cleric this week, because Clefable, this is the thing about Clef, it has so many options. I could be Misty Terrain if I really wanted to, but I also think that T-Spikes is something that he really should consider this week. And because of that, I want to make sure that when I'm building my team, that my Clefable, how much will Clefable... See, Clefable's Moonblast is the chunk. How much does Clefable's get in Power Ground do? Marowak. Alright, so as I said before, we've sort of got a rough idea that we know what we want our Clefable to do. Clefable at level 50, 32%. You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out here. How do I make my Clef take on that Mega Diancie a little bit better? Because now I'm looking at my Buzzwole, Mega Diancie to Buzzwole. Like, that Moonblast absolutely, like, murders me. But if I go, let's say, Assault Vest, and let's say, for whatever reason, what do I want to creep with this thing? Yeah, there's nothing I want to creep. I might want to creep Min Speed, I might want to creep Neutral Garbodor at level 50. Okay, let's go Neutral Speed. We want to be base 96 with Buzzwole. Oh, we outspeed, sorry. I thought Buzzwole was slower. Yeah, no, there's nothing I want to creep, bar things trying to creep me. So let's go back to another 36 creep. Now, with Mega Diancie. Okay, so this is what I have to really just let you guys know. He does have Uxie that has Memento. He doesn't have a Cleric. These are all things that I'm thinking about every single turn that I'm like, or every single minute of that I'm trying to build for you guys. Let's go to Soul Stealer. Pray that doesn't kill my internet. I probably shouldn't have done that. I just wanted to double check if he has any wish passes. I don't think he does. Go back to my home base, please. Be quick about it. That was a mistake. Yeah, so we can just see here, Buzzwole does Drain Punch. So let's say Timid. To Timid Diancie is nearly a 2-shot. And now that's Assault Vested. And now we just need to make that live, which I think is going to be very, very hard. I think Roselia Berry is going to be still our best bet. And I think it's going to be a nice little soft check. So if we go Roselia Berry, that Moonblast is guaranteed to a KO. But we do need a little bit more bulk on this because I want my Drain. I think that Earthquake has to be a must. I think it has to be Drain Punch Earthquake. And Earthquake is purely there for Mega Diancie, so that once we get to +1, he goes right, I can bring in my Mega Diancie. It's going to be absolutely murdered. On top of that as well, it does allow us to hit Garbodor nicely. If you see here, like look at this, like this is doing a chunk. We do have to watch out for T-Spikes, but T-Spikes are really going to be inevitable. I can't help that. This is Perdonixon. What? That's Papa Rogue. Rogue, you'd be proud. You got to watch it all and be Perdonixon Wall Break. Now it does seem like a bit of a stretch to be like, well, this is my Wall Breaker this week. But it really is. I think that by going bulk up Earthquake 3 attacks, what it also means is against Snorlax, for example, let's say we're hypothetically in a 1v1 Lax. Actually, do I want to go Restore attacks? Because I can always make it so that I get an attack boost with my Buzzwole. How much does Garchomp do? I know people are like, he's calcing at level 100. It's because I'm just trying to get a base understanding of my calcs here. I think I want to go that 252 standard impish sort of set with 144. So that I now need to look at my Mega Diancie calcs again. To OU offensive, Earthquake does a lot more. So that means after rocks it's 53 to 56%. Let's say we put 676 in. Now let's say we took this to level 50, where the damage rolls do a little bit more. On both ends, that is. Earthquake is a guaranteed Oko after rocks, but let's see if it's how dependent it is. 36. 48. 60. 93. Okay, so let's go back. I think I only like 12 because that means that it's a guarantee. Okay, so this is the other thing. I think I want to go Roost on Link Buzzwole as well because I don't need. Let's say Snorlax gets a little bit out of hand. 51. No, I need bulk up. I now have Leech Life for Serena. How much does Leech Life do? Gosh, Serena is thick. Oh no, that's not. Leech Life with that 12 investment as well, because that's what we're going to rock. And then I think I'm going to put the rest into Spadef because I want to make sure that Mega Diancie's Moonblast is going to So like, let's say it was modest for whatever reason. Don't know why he'd be ever modest, but he could be modest. Let's say I went for 64. Yeah, that's guaranteed 2-hit KO. So that means that I now know that my Buzzwole theoretically can like kill something, get healthy as possible, and after it kills something, that Mega Diancie is going to be a bit of a no issue. Now the other thing as well with Lesser Counter is the Vikavolt and your pivot. So let's the Vikavolt isn't a Z Crystal. Oh, it is. Ooh, shit. Didn't think about this, did I? Now level 50, Leech Life does 40%. So that does mean that if he does get that up, how much does Electrium Z do to Clefable? Oof, okay, so we definitely need a bit of Spadef, or we need to go Protect. And I'm just sort of thinking, what move do I want to drop, what move do I want to keep, because, like everything, if I get rid of any move, it's going to be weaker against someone else. Now, how do I feel against Celesteela at the moment? Celesteela I feel alright against. I'm just going to put 24 EVs into Spadef. I'll go 20 there. 28, 4, 4. I just want that because that make sure I have the most HP number. But then again, I did say earlier that Vikavolt will have a hard time trying to set up. But I do think my Clefable this week is going to be... so let's say Electric Terrain. Let's say he brings in Celesteela on my Clefable. Electric Terrain, yeah, that's not really... now I'm looking at it, do I need Clefable or am I better off trying to bring something like Scarf Nihilego? Is always what I'm trying to think in my head. Also as well, Big Bomber could be fun. Actually, but then again, I do like it as a soft check to Gerda. Celesteela can't run a Z Crystal. It could be the Weakness Policy set, and Weakness Policy sets are just taking over Draft ever since it dropped Turbo. So now we're in a predicament. How do we stop Agility? Because we don't have any priority on this team. And also because it's a Z Captain as well, we do have a little bit more issue because you can't paralyze off electric types anymore. Which is so annoying. Could go Snatch Clefable as he tries to autotomize up. Because we also said Clefable has to be our soft check to Mega Diancie. But like, even here, this is what I'm showing you, like, Vikavolt sets up on Crook, sets up on Pedonison if rocks aren't up. And that can also always be very possible because, let's say, theoretically, you go into my, like a Lola Marowak, I can knock off the Celesteela, but then again, he can set up pretty freely. So that's where I'm looking at it from this perspective of, I don't know how I feel. Rufflet can't take many hits, if any. So Rufflet dies automatically to Vikavolt after an agility, so does Crook, so does Tapu Koko, I think. Vikavolt. And you pivot level 50 to a... Yeah, that's a show to a Tapu Koko. Oh, you default pivot at level 50. Let's look at Thunderbolt here. So it'd have to be Bloom Doom. Alright, that's at least a little bit more comfortable to know. Which I don't think it would be. Dazzling Gleam though does 42. Okay, so we're looking here that we do a lot of damage to a Vikavolt. Unless it is like 252. But even then we do a lot. We do have the beautiful Rufflet, which I love to death. You're very good, Rogue. God, you're so good. Come back to draft sometime, Rogue. Show me up in PMC. like you did last time. So I do really like that now. I'm starting to see where I'm trying to identify the issues. SD Chomp cannot be an issue because we have Specs Coke. We don't have Specs Coco, but we have a very offensive Coco this week. Unless it is Sub Endure, which could be also be an issue. Do we just? But then again, we do have Clefable, and by having Clefable in any matchup will deter Startup just because of the core nature of being a Clefable. We also do have Moonblast with Thunderbolt. I'm just now thinking, do I really want Thunderbolt on this thing? Would I rather go like Wish Soft Boiled? Because that means that Celestealer can't theoretically as easily set up on Clefable. I could also look at Encore. I think Encore could be a very nice option as well, because if I underspeed both the Celestealer and Vikavolt like I'm planning to do, I can Encore them into a particular move. I could go Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss does a little bit, but I don't... Let's say this 50. How much HP does Celestealer have? It has like base 100. That's a guaranteed 4-hit KO. If anything, we're better off going for Thunderbolt. I could also look at going for a second... I could go Cosmic Power. That could be very annoying for him. Because he doesn't quote-unquote have the best answers. I mean, Toxic could also be very nice in this game. Just looking at it, because I could Toxic Vikavolt. That's also always another way. I think Toxic may be better over HP ground this game. I think Toxic helps, Thunderbolt helps a little bit. Celestealer would be Clefable. Yeah, so we're still going 42 minutes in. Sorry about this and the wait. Aaron will be editing all the non-crucial parts out. So Clefables, Moonblast, I love. Alright, so like it's a 3-coded. Now let's say for example he totemizes up. Let's say for example he has no block. Let's just say he's this spread. This is too old Clefable, isn't it? Yeah, because we're not running. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like, how much of a liability is Clef going to be? Because I could also go for Toxic Splax and bring Nihiliga this matchup. And then not worry about trying to soft track a Mega Diancie, which is always a fun opportunity to think about. Okay, but remember, if the Celestealer to Tapu Koko, which is default, at level 50, at +1, Heavy Slam guarantee knocks us out. Okay, so that's something to now think about. But I do like Thunderbolt because it does mean that he can't sit in front of me all day. Also, as well, we have to then consider what mons can he do that in front of. So, I know I'm just checking the recording, things like that. I only got a fuck ton to edit in this week's video. Celestealer can't then... He's got no way to boost his attack. Very important point by patrolling someone last night. I'm trying to think what he'd have to have. I need to have Earthquake. Surely, because otherwise you get walled by Quillfish. I think that I'm talking myself out of my best team here at the moment. Because if I go Babiri, I can't do what I want to do. If it's sub-celly, like sub-autotomized to attacks, like Flamethrower, I then don't Leech Seed it. If it's... I think it also can only be so many options. That's also important to note. And if I really am that worried about Celestealer and that much in my head I should bring Darm to this game. Actually, why don't I have Darm in this game? I have Clefable, but like Scarf Darm could always just chunk things, can't it? And also outspeed Vikavolt. But then again, it won't deal as nicely with Crawdon. I'm just trying to think, how much damage is enough damage to do to a Celestealer? And would Encore with him? And healing, which is always another play, because I don't get the beast boost that way. I just never like having things be opportunities for mons to easily set up, especially when it's selling. But here's the thing, I have this for... I have this. Alright, better off just bringing Hilliger to this game. And like, going specs near Hilliger. How much does near Hilliger do with this thing? Near Hilliger, you offensive. What are they on Electrium Z? Interesting. One, 2, 4 times 2. 20, 2, 4, 8. Divide by 1.5. 165. Okay, so Scarf near Hilliger definitely outspeeds it. If it's, yeah, I think I want to go Scarf near Hilliger now. I put myself out of that clef. Choice Scarf. Come on, bring out the old sprites. Power Gem. Sludge Wave. Yeah, there we go. The Sloot. And then you get Electric Terrain up as well, you do 74% minimum. Now... Naked Diancie. SD Coron becomes so much more of a pain, but we have the big old Pladonism one. So Nihiligu does 60% with Sludge Wave, 56 with Thunderbolt and Electric Terrain. What else on his team I'm worried about? Yuxi's definitely a mon. Go away this. 35% minimum. And as well, every time he goes into Yuxi, we go into Ferrothorn. The question is, do I want a second roll? Okay, let's go HP Ice and Power Ice. Which now does think it's better for Gerda as well. Oh, we lose that soft check to Gerda. Do I care? Do I care? But I don't think Gerda particularly wants. Go Wonder and switch the defense stat so you will relax. No, Guard Split could be fun, but it's not that tough to set. We don't have Thunderbolt, so we're gonna go Blast with Thunderbolt. And we know what our defensive benchmark needs to be. We need to be 166, specifically for Cell Stealer. Now that's making sure that Cell Stealer. Because I want to make sure that I'm dropping every Cell Stealer I see this week. So I'm going to do this 1, 2, 4. It's 2, 4, divide by 1.5. 166. Go 167 just for good measure. Oh no, we need to create Chomp, don't we? I think we're gonna go. Alright, sweet. Now we just got to do Ferrothorn, but we've already said earlier that we know our Ferrothorn's going to be like this spread anyway. And it's going to be, what do I want this to be? I think Leftover is still my best bet. Or if you go Ockerberry, make sure I live 2. No, I think I want to go Leftovers. And, yeah, if that's the case. Because I have Spikes, Rocks, so I'm just trying to think theoretically how much I'm going to do to a lot of his mons if I can have a sec. I think the bare minimum to do will be about... I think Rocks can always be guaranteed early game because of the Alola Marowak. What I mean it can be guaranteed, what I also mean is that if he does bring in the Alola Marowak and I decide, okay, let's maybe... So like, because I think... Alright, so let me go through what I'm going through my head. I think my lead in this game is going to be Coco, because if he leads Yuxi, I go out into Ferrothorn. If he leads So let's put it through the motions, right? He leads Yuxi. I lead Ferrothorn. I lead Coco. He leads Yuxi. I go for U-turn on the Yuxi. I go out into Ferrothorn. He goes for the Trick Room. I'm like, okay, I guarantee I'll slow his Yuxi. My best play here is to spike. I get 1 layer of spikes up. Now if I don't see the Tsarina, or I don't see the Mega Diancie, I know that my spikes are here to stay the entire game. Now if I see lead Coco, he leads Diancie, my play is still to go for a U-turn, because I then go out into Nihilego. If he goes for Diamond Storm, he goes for Diamond Storm, but his best play should be Moonblast or HP Fire because he's trying to predict the Ferrothorn. I go into Nihilego, I just click Sludge Wave, do as much as I can, and if he goes out into Selly, he's made a bit of a tomfoolery play there, because I will then just go out into... actually no, I can't really lock myself into Sludge Wave there, but I probably will lock myself into, I think Power Gem should do a lot. I don't know, I'll probably see it when I get in the game. But I don't think he'll lead Mega Diancie, because I don't think I think that him and Squid are really good friends. They know that you can't really lead defensively against me, and you have to lead offensively. That's where Squid got me last. Blazing Squid got me last time, was he led very offensively against me. Yeah, I'm not going to invest in 4. It's going to annoy some people, but I can't remember the nicknames to this, so I'll have to look them up. But that's what I'm doing through my head. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy this. Now, to recap, the last 5 minutes of this video, like I promised, we finally came to an end. Next meme. Alright, so we start off with this week, Papa Rogue, the Rufflet, Grant graphics. You see the teams. You don't need me to tell them. If you want me to say them, go watch the whole video. So we know that Z Bravebird this week with Rufflet just drops something. Now that's really been something important this week. We originally had a defensive set bulk up, but we decided that Superpower was funnier because it can play out through relax. Now, on top of this, with a Brave Bird, it can also just really damage a lot of mons. Bulk up, Roost Superpower, and like Papa Rogue's main job this week is not letting anything set up. Now we have Randy, which is T-Bolt, Dazzling Gleam, U-turn, Roost, very offensive. Modest because we creep Diancie that way. Shuckerberry for Scarf Chomp. Also as well, the Shuckerberry is just nice in case you never know what fucking thing or want to be, be a bit annoying for everyone. So we've got U-turn, Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, and Roost. Roost is also listed there nicely. Now we have Crocodile, our main sort of defensive answer to Alola Marowak. Gets up our rocks quite easily. Knock off Pursuit, Earthquake. Woohoo! Next up we have the Buzzwole, the Peroniton Pokemon. Bulk up, Leech Life, Drain Punch, Earthquake. Now we do have 2 recovery moves. No point trying to be third. Earthquake now also lets us hit Mega Diancie. We also have that Roselia Berry specifically for Mega Diancie. Leech Life does about half to a Vigavolt. I don't know how much Drain Punch does to Celesteela. We didn't calc that. However, we do have a game plan for Celesteela. Main jobs, speed creep, that Scarf Chomp, while also just doing a nice amount of damage. And then we have our Ferrothorn, our main Trick Room deterrent. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was about 42 minutes or so. And until next time, peace.